Thank you so much for joining. And I want to start off by saying this is an incredibly exciting day for us at Bionano. In addition to Chris Stewart and Clint Rose, who are on the call, I'm joined today by Mark Oldakowski, who's our Chief Operating Officer and has been leading product development and manufacturing and customer support here at Bionano for a number of years now. And I want to congratulate Mark on this acquisition. It's really an incredible step forward for us, and we're very, very excited to have entered into this material definitive agreement for the proposed acquisition of Purigen. Purigen is a company that develops and commercializes what we believe are best-in-class solutions for automated nucleic acid extraction using something called isotachophoresis, which is a proprietary technology that Purigen licensed exclusively from Stanford University, and over the past decade has developed into a commercial solution which they have deployed on their ionic system. And I can tell you that when you talk to customers about it, they're very excited about how it works, and so are we. We believe that this acquisition has the potential to help us expand the adoption of optical genome mapping by improving the way in which we isolate ultra-high molecular weight DNA for OGM. This acquisition, we believe, is a great strategic fit for us. It will help us accelerate the adoption of optical genome mapping. It will allow Bionano to acquire technology that we believe can enable us to achieve the goal of creating what is really an end-to-end solution for OGM, putting it together alongside with other components of the entire workflow that will together provide what is a comprehensive view of genome variation and the impact it has on human disease. Now, as you may know, the optical genome mapping workflow centers around our proprietary single-molecule imaging of DNA that has been linearized inside nanochannel arrays. And in order to drive widespread adoption for OGM for routine use across our target markets, cytogenomics, discovery research, and cell bioprocessing, we're focused on creating this integrated end-to-end solution that really maximizes some key attributes: ease of use, the speed, and the overall performance of that workflow. We added biodiscovery, which gave us an analytical platform through which we can transform the way the world sees the genome with software that integrates optical genome mapping data alongside other data types used in genomic analysis, such as next-generation sequencing and microarrays for single nucleotide variants and small structural variants. Purigen's ionic purification system and the underlying isotachophoresis or ITP technology represents a novel approach to isolating and purifying DNA that we believe would complement what we have on the market today that's based on a traditional binding approach, something that Hamilton has automated, and that the addition of ionic and ITP provides a solution that will allow us to address more complex sample types, including small samples, samples with low cell counts, or samples where the nucleic acids that are pretty dilute. And so when we look at where we're headed with this focus on structural variation, we believe that we have the potential to truly unlock the next wave of big biology in genomics, and that comes through acquisitions like this one of Purigen that come alongside the incredible Sapphire system and the optical genome mapping workflow. So I want to share a little bit more about Purigen with you today. This is a California company headquartered in Pleasanton. The company was formed about 10 years ago with technology, as I mentioned, licensed from Stanford University. The ITP technology was developed in the Stanford Microfluidics Laboratory led by Dr. Juan Santiago, who is the Vice Chair and Department of Mechanical Engineering there. Clint, who's on the call with us today and will become a fellow at Bionano, earned his PhD with Dr. Santiago before co-founding Purigen. We're excited that Clint will join the team after the closing and that he will continue to drive the development of Purigen's ITP technology, now with the support from Bionano. We want to say something about the incredible team at Purigen. They have built a unique and powerful technology. They have an installed base of their ionic system labs across the globe. We spoke to a number of those customers through the process of getting to know Purigen, and customers love their product, and they should be very proud of what they have achieved. And once the acquisition is complete, we believe that we'll be able to expand upon what this team has built by adding optical genome mapping to the set of solutions that ITP-based sample preparation provides. This acquisition follows what was really an extensive co-development program and evaluation that was led by Mark Oldakowski, in which the Purigen team, over a period of about a year, developed several methods and techniques for isolating ultra-high molecular weight DNA and then demonstrated it on the ionic system. And so I want to give a snapshot of the Purigen ionic purification system. Currently, what they offer is nucleic acid sample preparation through this commercially available platform, which is capable of isolating DNA and RNA using ITP. This automated benchtop instrument and its accompanying microfluidic chip purify complex biological samples from a variety of sources, low cell counts, small sample types, or otherwise challenging samples. The current system has been adopted for many different samples, including and especially formalin-fixed paraffin-embedded, or FFPE, tumor tissue. And again, when we talk to customers about what really excites them about ITP in their labs, it's this ability to tackle FFPE, which is really one of the most common samples in cancer. Now, purified nucleic acids are immediately compatible after coming off of the ionic system with a wide range of downstream detection methods, including next-generation sequencing, PCR, and other genomic analysis methods. The ionic system can purify 8 samples in 1 hour with less than 5 minutes of total hands-on time in a fully automated workflow. What's important about ITP is that it's a solution-based concentration approach. That means it's different from protocols that are in routine use today, which tend to rely on binding to a matrix, washing the bound nucleic acid to remove impurities, and then stripping the target molecules off of that matrix. Now, these protocols tend to be less efficient at capturing molecules from dilute solution, and they often result in shorter average lengths of DNA after removal from the matrix, and that means that those molecules tend to be shorter than what optical genome mapping requires. And so what we believe is that ITP is a very elegant solution to isolating long DNA from complex samples in a way that fits very nicely with the requirements of optical genome mapping and gives great results. This acquisition of Purigen offers us an opportunity to really elevate the overall OGM workflow, and we believe because of the automation and simplicity and the throughput that the ionic system offers, make it easier to operate at scale. So this is a big step forward for us overall, and we know that the sample prep step in optical genome mapping is one that customers point to as something that they would like to see improvements in. And so through the combination of working with Purigen and with Hamilton, we believe we're going to be providing them a number of solutions here. And so there are many strategic benefits to this transaction. Certainly we need to do some work to finalize product development in a way that there is an ionic purification for optical kit for optical genome mapping that's available, and we expect that to come sometime in the near future. And then we'll be able to offer this ionic purification system as part of the end-to-end workflow for OGM. We believe that this acquisition will ultimately not only expand the technology portfolio, but as a result of ITP offering this solution-based approach, will allow us to overcome limitations of our current binding approach to tackle sample types that have been proven challenging for our current approach. And we'll talk more about what those sample types are, but I can say that there are examples of things that are in routine use today, and certainly when we have a kit available for those samples, it will expand the utility of optical genome mapping and as a result, really expand the market for OGM. Now I want to discuss the integration plan following the closing of this acquisition and the new operational structure. As I mentioned, Clint Rose would become a fellow at Bionano, leading all of the ITP technology and product development. Many of the team would be integrated into existing roles, such as our manufacturing and other areas of G&A and so forth. The goal of our integration plan is to fully support the existing business that Purigen operates, and that includes supporting enthusiastically all of their existing customers. We plan to expand the installed base of the Ionic system to customers who may or may not be OGM users. This will allow us to position Bionano as a key solution provider throughout molecular pathology and cytogenomics. And then ultimately our goal is to commercialize the Ionic system with kits that are specifically developed for optical genome mapping, and that's likely to include many different sample types. And so these are certainly some ambitious goals that we believe we can accomplish together with the world-class team at Purigen. The transaction included consideration up to $64 million, $32 million of which will be paid in cash at closing, subject to customary adjustments. The remainder of the consideration is contingent upon achievement of certain milestones. I want to mention that Cowen and Company served as an exclusive advisor to Bionano on this transaction, and we expect the acquisition to close promptly, but certainly before December 8th, 2022. And after the close, we are enthusiastic about welcoming the entire Purigen team into Bionano. I would like to turn the call back over for Q&A. So, Keith?
And the first question comes from Jeffrey Cohen with Ladenburg Thalmann.
Well, firstly, could you walk us through the size of the company, Purigen, their sales force, the commercial organization, and give us a sense of the fleet size out there and geographically speaking, where they may be located?
Sure. So the company has about 28 employees total. In the sales organization, there are 3 folks who are dedicated to sales in the field, 2 in the United States and 1 in Europe. They also have a field applications team and a field support team that numbers in the medium single digits. So, of the 28, probably about 10 people in commercial overall, and we'll be integrating those folks into our team over the coming weeks. And, the thinking is that we will add the Ionic system to the products that the Bionano team is selling and integrate their selling team into that commercial group.
And the next question comes from Frank Brisebois with Oppenheimer.
Hi, thanks for taking our question. This is Dan on for Frank. Congrats on the acquisition. Just following up on the last question there. With this acquisition, do you expect a widening of your customer base that you're targeting, specifically any particular customer groups who tended to show more inertia in adopting OGM? Now with the addition of ITP-based sample prep, do you expect to drive more adoption among those particular, any specific customer groups?
Yes, we believe that a strategic benefit of bringing in automated, streamlined methods for ultra-high molecular weight DNA isolation is that it will impact potential OGM users who have been seeking to adopt the method but found our current approach to DNA isolation maybe too low in throughput, looking for something faster, maybe requiring too many manual steps, so looking for something automated. And what I would say is that when we look at the automation solutions that will eventually be available, right now customers are able to work with us and work with Hamilton to get the Longstream Vantage system, which will automate the current DNA isolation chemistry, which works great, and that's going to be a great solution for them. Now they will have, in the future when the Ionic system has an OGM kit, they will have another option. And importantly, we believe that Ionic will extend beyond, through ITP, will extend beyond the capabilities of the current system to address additional sample types that we know just don't perform as well with the existing chemistry. And so I think the answer is yes. We have customers that are on the sidelines for workflow reasons that will find more automation friendly for them. And then we have other customers who may be on the sidelines because they're working with a sample type that maybe it's just too few cells in that sample type, too small or minute of a sample type, or too high a volume so that the target molecules that are in the sample is really dilute. And we believe that a solution like ITP will address all that. And so bottom line is, we expect this to really broaden the installed base of OGM over time and through a process of expanding our addressable market.
And the next question comes from Michael Konowich with Maxim Group.
Hey guys, congratulations on the acquisition, and thank you for taking my question. But I'd like to just see kind of if you view this more as an evolutionary improvement where you get improved solution extraction for a market where you already address, or does this really open up a segment of the market which was unfeasible at scale?
I really feel like it's the latter, partly because of, expanding the addressable market by allowing us to go after different sample types. But I want to emphasize something which I think is really important, and it's that this approach to purification of biomolecules, which is being applied here to DNA and RNA on the Ionic system, is completely revolutionary and differentiated. It's totally orthogonal to just about everything that's in use today on a routine basis. The idea of isotachophoresis has been around, but its development and optimization, the IP that underlies this method, which Purigen exclusively licensed to Stanford and then will become part of Bionano's IP portfolio. This approach is completely unique in the market. And so in that sense, I really do view this acquisition as revolutionary for Bionano and elevating our total offering into the genomics community. It makes us a big and important potential partner throughout molecular pathology, and something that we talked about when we purchased BioDiscovery and really emphasized software, which software is the lens through which everybody looks at their data. That's why software is so important. But guess what? There is no data without a good sample. And so, every single genome analysis begins at the sample. And so isotachophoresis, the way it's been developed by Clint and his team, we can't say enough and congratulate them enough for their incredible progress. But this is really a revolutionary approach to nucleic acid isolation, and I think that the applications that exist for it are multiple, and we're going to see that bearing fruit for years to come in Bionano for sure.
And this concludes the question and answer session. I would like to return the call to Dr. Holmlin for any closing comments.
Great. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, everybody, for calling. Thanks for the great Q&A, and we look forward to updating you after the first of the year on our Q4 call. So thank you very much. Have a great day.